that program to somebody else's program, which is digital, because, you know, a lot of times it's just a way to shift kids with IEPs to some place that's not you.
Oh yeah.
By the way, we've got we're live, but we've got that, you know, that 60-second ad that runs. And look, I can move you all around now. Look at that.
Yeah,
I know. I saw that update.
Musical squares.
Though I've gotten so used to I've gotten so used to sitting like this, so I could like look like I'm looking at you all, that now it's just as bizarre.
Well, see, that's the issue with the camera, because what are you actually looking at? Like, if your camera is here and your screen is here, you're never going to look like you're engaged in class.
No, I'm looking right at you, Danielle. I'm looking right at you.
Yeah. I mean,
let's do the countdown. I didn't make a new countdown this week because last week was so bad. I was so embarrassed by myself. I did a countdown clock, and like Carrie and they're looking at me like, what the hell was that thing? And like nobody got the joke.
No, I thought it was funny though.
All right, we'll do the countdown. Hold on. And we're here.
And did you notice that I subbed to say I'm sorry?
You did what now?
You have an apology sub.
I have an apology sub?
Yeah, for being ignored. You have an apology sub now.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Though I think I subscribed to your channel for 3 months.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll make sure that
Kidding. You don't have to go above and beyond. It's fine. Welcome in all 4 people. We're up to 4 people now. Welcome in, everybody. Hi. It is Thursday night. It is September 3rd. It is Thursday. It is, we're all of us, I think, are feeling Thursday in a different way. First week of school for many, second, third week of school for some people. Third week, Danielle? Third week? Okay.
Third week here, too.
For me, it's my first. So, but it's not like we haven't been studying up. Oh, and one of my former Scholar Gamers just piped in here, Nico Bazu, who it does not go by Nico Bazu in real life, but actually was a scholarship player to Robert Morris University, checked in. So very happy to see her here. But welcome in, everybody. And again, Thursday. I think I've already said this because we're all so tired. Danielle, you're muted, by the way, just in case you went on to. There you go. You're unmuted.
I know. I didn't want you guys to hear the background noise.
What background noise?
I was trying to be polite.
Well, now we're gonna ask about it.
Well, now I want to know about the background noise.
Well, the family is eating.
Yeah.
And what, we can hear them chewing on your camera, on your microphone?
I can hear them chewing.
Oh.
I was just trying to prevent you guys hearing them chewing.
And now we're becoming an ASMR stream.
Right. And we're going to branch out to karaoke. We're just all kinds of everything.
We're redefining esports culture. Let's look at this. We've got speed running, ASMR, and what was the other thing?
Musicals.
And what? Music and karaoke.
Musicals.
Yep.
Yes, we will have the musical episode. I was testing everything out. I was getting my karaoke software, working on my computer, and I'm almost there. Almost got everything sorted.
I'm way too excited about this.
Well, we have to make sure we get Jarrell.
Yeah.
Because, Jarrell, for him, it's cultural. Apparently in the Philippines, it's like the national pastime is karaoke. So, but I know that our efforts for the last couple of weeks for teaching and educating, how is everybody doing right now? Well, Danielle, I think you had the best take while we were pre-chatting. So why don't you share your thoughts on tired, the levels of tired?
So until this year, I thought there were 2 levels of tired. New mom tired and first week of school tired. And now I know there's also virtual teacher tired. And next week we start concurrent or hybrid. So I feel I will learn a 4th level of
I think
tired.
you will, because I'm hearing that one's rough.
Well, for me, my virtual program, my virtual sensibilities all of a sudden got very much crushed today I like to talk about how the virtual program, we have our software, we have our computers. We don't need a whole lot of other resources until I got involved in elementary virtual programming. And I managed to, I think, murder an entire hectare of forest with worksheets and packets that I get to deliver tomorrow. So I'm increasing the deforestation, and I'm also increasing CO2 in the atmosphere as I drive around the community of Racine, Caledonia, and all Mount Pleasant.
Just think of all the buses that aren't running, though.
That's true.
That offset right there.
Offsetting the.
Yeah.
And some of the things that are already coming through in the chat. Hello to everybody. Pilgrim pops in. We're all getting things started right now. And it says, I want to give a shout out to Chris Avila, Steve Isaacs, and their Garden State League team. They put on a fabulous presentation, and I'm even more excited to begin esports this fall. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that is great news to hear coming out of the Garden State Esports League. And Danielle was on my podcast this past week, in case you all haven't checked that out.
Yep.
Talking about TechSef, because TechSef had the big launch last week that if you were here, we all rated in, though you all ignored us.
There was a 10-minute.
I was in the studio the whole time.
There was also a 10-minute wait to be able to say anything. So
there was a 10-minute wait to say anything?
Yep. Yeah, if you tried to text, you had to, or mention in chat, you had to be in there for 10 minutes before you could say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I tried to woot at you guys, but I was denied. It was like writing in caps here.
That was a production. I know you tried to say something to me, James. I tried to throw you off. It was a production. Y'all don't understand the back end of what we were doing. That's what I was telling Danielle. She was saying Bradford Aretha, but people were talking to me in my earphones as I was speaking, and I'm like, let me just read. It was so much going on. It was truly a production. It was fantastic. Everything.
I will never not have a word for word script again. Because the talking in my ears, I blank out. I literally said one of our interns would do the wrong call out.
I was like, okay, what?
Well, it was. I don't know who did all your overlays. I mean, whoever's doing your stuff needs to start doing
Nerd Street Gamers.
Nerd Street did your stuff for you.
He did it for us.
Because I was looking at that
show too.
I was looking at that going, oh my God. Why is the Thursday night esports EDU chat not getting this love? I thought Danielle had done this or Bradford had done this or something.
No, not Brad.
No, Dre Mirandez at Nerd Street Gamers.
Sweet.
Picked us up.
So there's TechSef going off, and I'm keeping the Texas love alive. This weekend's podcast that's gonna go down is Danny Martin from what was Geek Leets is now Exposure.
They're right down the street.
Let me tell you something, because I've been saying for years that I want to have the Hogwarts of esports, right? And again, we've seen all these companies. We've seen, the Playverses and the HSELs and all this other stuff talking about all their great stuff. Danny has, I think, what is it physically right now is the closest to the Academy of Esports, if ever there was it. Danny has the whole studio set up as a learning space. It was originally just a platform, and then he expanded and turned it into this. But here's the other thing too. When I was doing some searching around Exposure and trying to get some more information before the interview, I also found that he's actually not in Dallas. He's in DeSoto, which is
right south of Dallas.
Right. Yeah. But the demographics are very different than Dallas, right? I mean, from what I could tell.
Not from South Dallas.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with all that said,
we're it's right. But I don't know how to explain it.
But
sorry, my brain hurts.
But what was worth all of that was I came across the DeSoto Park District, and Danny had put together a program for the DeSoto Park District for $25, and it was several weeks of going in and actually getting hands-on with all this stuff for $25. That's the kind of outreach that's needed right now. That's the kind of stuff that, he could charge $300 a week for people to come in and do that stuff, but he's getting those kids when we need them engaged the most.
Right.
And what was also really impressive about what he's done is that he's taken, everything was a hands-on experience at Exposure. He's turned it into, he said, well, we got to have to go online with this stuff. Like, we're going to have to create some kind of online courses and all that. And you want to talk about production value. First off, their production value is some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen. And second of all, he's like, well, we're going to put it on a learning management system. And he's like, we could put it on Canvas, but I could program my own. He built the dang LMS specifically for them. And again, my job as a virtual learning director is to see how these things work. And I always have complaints about taking coursework from, like, say, Florida Virtual and putting it into whatever system you want. Danny's is the most beautiful LMS integration of courses that I have ever seen. It is absolutely just stunning. So,
well, there's nothing specifically built for K-12, so there's definitely a market there.
Yeah,
I think we'll see it eventually. I know that like 3 years ago, I was having private conversations with people from the pro circuits and other related industries about an interest in potentially starting up, school systems. At that point, the conversations were more geared towards private schools, but creating hubs in different places in the country where everything was very esports centered, and you were definitely grooming kids for potential pro league play. So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I don't necessarily think private is necessarily the best way to go for it, because we definitely all lobby pretty hard here for access, and as soon as you privatize, it definitely cuts a lot of people off, unless you got great scholarships in place. But it's definitely a conversation that's been floating around for a while. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
That was the other thing I said to him was, when he started off again, he touted how they had made 7 NBA 2K players, right? So, like, they're in the pros. But I noticed that their mission, I guess it's their mission, is education plus esports equals opportunity. And while pros was their focus to start, it is not the focus now. Like, it is
they
about,
actually are running, or we're planning to run, like, a low cost after school program, like where they pick the kids up at the school and do, the whole after school programming for Lancaster, which is where Kim, one of our tech Sept people, is the digital learning director. But yeah, he's in it for the right reasons, for sure.
And I don't think the goal has to be pro. I mean, that's, I think, a conversation that a lot of us in the esports industry have had, whether that we should be the focus of the K-12 community anyways. But we have schools that are based on, like, a lot of schools have flavors. Like, you might have a school that is sort of like the athletic hub for a community. Another one might be the the theater and performing arts. Another one might be like fine arts. Like, you have schools that have a focus, and I could definitely see the gaming and content creation becoming a focus for a school. And so you're learning things like content creation, you're learning project management, you're learning shoutcasting, you're learning all these different things, as well as having esports as an opportunity. But it would just be the overall flavor. So the goal wouldn't be to make these kids pro, just like most of these schools aren't expecting their kids to be Academy Award winners, but you're delivering a certain skill base, and you're delivering some of the sort of the professional development with a particular flavor, that's geared towards a particular industry. So,
well, that was that was one of the questions I had to him. I said, you've got this facility. I said, what's keeping you from launching a charter school? I mean, with everything that was there, everything, other than not having any certified teachers, but
well, it depends where you are.
You've gone down that road.
Yeah. So when we branched off to create Progressive Learning Academy, the initial push was to do a charter within the school district, and basically what we were straight up told is that there was no room in the district we were in for a progressive style education program. They wanted to have a lot of control over it, and it needed to be very top down, kind of authoritarian. So we didn't.
How'd that work out?
We didn't do it. We went private. And obviously since then we've closed down, but the same thing happened up here in the district that I currently live in. They closed down all their progressives. They are currently trying to get like a charter open, but there's a lot of, it can be really hard to get approved for a charter depending on where you are. Some areas are very pro charter and it's very easy to get something set up, even if it's very unique. Other areas are not, and it can be really hard to do it, which is why I think you see a lot of people branch off and go, do small privates. Is you've got some freedom there. Depending on what your district is like. Where I am here, our districts are still extremely conservative. So there's not a whole lot of room for things that are too far off the traditional norm.
Well, to juxtapose that, I'm in a large district. It's 18,000 kids, but I oversee the virtual program. Note, I didn't say school. It is a virtual program.
Yeah.
I do not operate a school. And the key on that is I don't have to deal with all the DPI, Department of Instruction stuff. I don't have to deal with, all the other reporting and anything else. All I focus on is how do I meet my kids where they're at?
Right.
That to me is like, I'm in the sweet spot. And all these people who have, official virtual schools, they struggle every day. But what I can do is, again, I can service the kids. It's in my school district. I can service the kids in my community. And again, I don't have that bureaucratic weight over my head of all these other things that I've got to do.
And I think it's a good conversation to have with your district leaders. We definitely did. We knocked on doors. We had many sit-down meetings with a lot of different individuals to feel out whether, they would be open to what we were wanting to do. At certain periods of time they were, and then, you get a new superintendent and everybody gets gutted and everything changes. But it's definitely worth doing. So if you're an esports educator and you want to try to do a program, because I absolutely agree with you, like running a program is way more simple than running a school if you're on the right site. So if you're going to have a physical place that you're operating out of, you definitely need to know the administration on that site. That's going to be sort of your governing lead. But if you can pull off doing a digital program, you're going to end up, I think, with a lot more freedom. It's worth trying. Like, we're still in that area where everybody's going to have to still be sort of trailblazing. So it's worth going out there and putting in the work and seeing if you can make things happen.
Well, and trailblazing in certainly in unique ways. Jarrell pipes in too. Not talking about programs, but let's talk about how we're trailblazing our esports programs right now, especially with where we're at. And Jarrell says here, we just got done facilitating a call with the NASEF GMs. One of them shared that he will be starting this year with an art contest instead of jumping into some gaming.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
That's really cool.
But then we also have here, I have a short name. I don't know who this is, but they were asking about my PC specs, and I'm happy to share. I'll open up the PC and take the camera around and show everybody the inside. But doing a Fortnite tournament tomorrow. And again, it's meeting kids where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Our district, I met with my people last week, and they're like, we want to run we want to take out the whole esports component. We're fine with running things right now as gaming clubs. We're good with like changing up the different styles of games, and each school hosting different ones. It's what's needed right now for some of these kids. Right. I'm all about I'm not into this whole rush to implement stuff, right? You've heard me say that the biggest problem we have right now is this rush to implementation. But right now, we need a little bit of just quick implementation. We need these kind of things to get kids re-engaged into socializing play. I'll tell you, I know that my social skills right now are trash. Like look, I'm not always the most calm person, but usually I can keep myself in check. I couldn't apparently last Monday. And I got called out for it by my boss after the fact. She didn't call me out during the meeting. But, I said to her, I said, look, I know that I am more angry right now. I know that I am more stressed than I've ever been before. And I'm sorry that I let myself crack. And think about the kids who, again, really haven't connected. Steve Isaac says we need to provide kids with opportunities to connect.
Yeah.
Adults too. We haven't really had to connect with people. And we're launching all this stuff right now. We're trying to do all these new things. Danielle, you got on here tonight before. I know you're all perked up now, but you were just like,
oh no, I still need to tell my story.
Oh, you have a story to tell.
My virtual learning mess up of my lifetime.
Please. Do you want to share that right now?
Oh, I would love to share it. So first of all,
share.
if you have not started virtual learning, the kids are so happy to be in school. Like, I'm loving being back in the classroom right now. Just, they're so cute and so adorable, and they're so excited.
How old are these kids? You work with middle schoolers, right?
Middle school. So 6th
I don't believe
grade.
a word you're saying.
No, middle schoolers are awesome.
It's the
Oh my gosh.
Hush
This
now.
project, Spanish
They're
project is due
beautiful.
tomorrow. More than half the kids have already turned it in. Like,
That's awesome.
Middle schoolers are
kids
not
came
my
to pick
jam.
up.
They
kids
are
came to
wonderful.
pick up materials for. We're doing foil boats. It's not about the boat. It's about their documentary about building the boat.
Yeah.
But some kids came to pick up materials an hour after I assigned the project. Like, I wasn't even done with the next period.
Yeah.
Like, it's been amazing. But anyways, so our virtual Meet the Teacher is going on right now. And my principal had us all make videos. So he's doing the Q&A or whatever, but we all made videos, and somehow I'm in charge of collecting and organizing and posting all the videos. So I'm like, Flipgrid. So somehow adults that have advanced degrees still can't use a platform made for children. So I was still uploading some people's videos because they would email them to me. Well, it got to a point where I was like, crap, I need to make my own video. So I kind of rushed through making my video. I mean, I did a pretty good job. I planned it out, but I took a lot of takes. Let's just put it that way. So about 10, 15 minutes before Meet the Teacher starts, I guess the links have been sent out and it's all like live. I get an email from a parent and she's like, I'm just going to read it. Hold on.
Oh, this is, I'm liking this already.
Uh-huh. Is that good? Guys, and like, yeah. Miss Johnson, I'm so-and-so's parents. This is the second best communication from a parent I've ever gotten. I'm not going to lie. The first one is where they threatened to call the Secret Service on me. I have the voice recording. I have the voicemail. If anybody ever wants to hear it, it's amazing. For indoctrinating their child.
Wait. Okay. Oh, I was going to say, were you counterfeiting money because the Secret Service often handles counterfeit?
We were discussing current events.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It was 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm so-and-so's parent. I'm just giving you a heads up in case no one's told you that, but I just watched your Meet the Teacher video and you might want to take it down because you use the F word in in the video. I just wanted you to be aware in case you weren't already. There was definitely a lot of cussing between takes and I thought I edited it right.
Oh no.
Okay,
That's
terrific.
awesome.
So
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't even up for very long because I was dealing with other people's stuff, and so I was like the last one to post my video. And her message was like before he'd even like started the WebEx Q&As or whatever. Yes, that we have to use WebEx. That's also a tragic part of the story.
Wait, you have to use WebEx?
Yeah, right. Our district.
Are you in Office? Like, what's like? Are
Offices don't even use WebEx.
I don't know.
I don't know who uses WebEx other than people that work at WebEx.
It's like the people who use. It's like the people who use Microsoft Teams. It's like, oh, are you? Oh, we're doing a Microsoft. Oh, am I meeting with Microsoft?
Yeah, if you're meeting with Microsoft, you use Microsoft Teams.
Yeah,
I can't ever get it to work right. I can't.
I've never tried.
I've gotten it. Yeah.
But yeah,
by the way,
I just texted like all my friends and was like, guess what I did? Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. I cussed in my video.
Oh no.
I sent my principal message and I was like, just don't fire me. He's like, what did you do?
Oh my God.
To the people who are in the chat right now, because there were people who are being over emotive, we shall say, with their caps. I will recalibrate the moderator.
No, he won't.
No, yes, I will.
You say that every week.
I know, but I'm actually going to do it this time.
Hey, try typing esports with a capital E and see what happens.
Ooh, no, capital S.
Yeah,
or whatever. Oh. That's capital somewhere in there where it's not supposed to.
Do you get instantly banned? Is it like?
Oh, I should.
People doing it.
Yeah, it's getting done, but I think that's what's going to happen next time. I'm going to just kick people out.
And see, -S, capital ST, no O, capital RT.
Yeah, Angelique's got it. But let's
Oh my
pause on
God.
that for a second, because it's my pet peeve is that people don't like how people spell it. I think is important. Other people are like, oh, it doesn't really matter. To me,
You
it
missed the
matters.
beginning of our
It does
TechStuff
matter.
stream because we had the AP tweet up with how to properly spell esports. We were like, it's teachers. We have to start with the spelling. So we definitely included it.
Okay, hold on. Just so people know, because I think that it's really important that we actually we spell it the right way, because it's legitimacy. I don't call it NBA with a lowercase
Nuba?
b or anything. I don't have the tweet. It's all right. On the
I do.
fly. Yeah, but I don't think I can share you. I don't think you can share your screen.
I'm going to send it to you.
We can
In the private chat, because there's a
we can
private
share
chat.
screen.
She can share her screen?
Yeah, there's screen share.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jarrell's spelling.
What did he put? I'm
like,
off the screen
he
right
put,
now.
oh my God, esports.
Oh my God. I'm looking.
You do see everything. You see
I'm getting
everything.
militant about it at this point. Here, I love. Is there somebody's asking if there's a Discord? Yes, there's a Discord. Of course there is. If you want to go into the Esports EDU Discord,
there's a Discord for everything.
There's a Discord for everything. I will put the link for the Esports EDU Discord in the chat. But
that's how TechStuff got started, guys. Was Greg and I met on Twitter at an Esports EDU chat. Hey, it's a good day, guys.
Experimenting some technological differences.
Oh my God. So that's how we got started.
To use that, and that was it.
Was Greg and I met in a Esports EDU Thursday night chat, and then got on Discord, and then started this thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's been great for a lot of people. Like, I know a lot of people have come up from just sort of like meeting one person on Twitter, getting funneled into the community, and then, you check in with them 6 months to a year later, and they've got amazing things that they're working on. It's one of the things that I love about the Esports EDU community is that I think by and large, are extremely welcoming and supportive of everybody that joins into our community. It's really awesome to see.
And this is from our show the other night.
Yes, you're. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean the show that Nerd Street put on, and you guys just read your scripts? What?
Pretty much.
Stop it.
Pretty much.
But yeah, here it is. It's again, it's the AP style book, and what drives me nuts, Yar, is seeing all of the newspapers that still spell it the same old way.
Oh yeah, it's not just the newspapers. Like, I spent a day basically researching every esports organization I can find in the United States, and about 50% of them
day?
have.
Oh wait, there's like 7.
Well, oh no.
I'm kidding. There's just a lot more.
There's so many. But like about half of them have unique and interesting spellings. Aggressive spellings for esports is the best way I can describe it. To me, it feels like they're trying to make it look as manly and aggressive as possible, and then you get these weird capitalizations and you get hyphens, and it just gets like, okay, guys, just take it back.
I've been told, but it doesn't. Masculine. I've been told, but it doesn't look right. It looks like a sports. I'm like, no, I have to physically show them the AP guidelines.
It's an interesting one though, because I can definitely say from like my current line of work, esports as it's spelled does get you people saying what's esports like all the time. If you're not in the industry, you're gonna it doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
It is suspect, especially when I see the tweets like, "Oh, I'm my school. We've had an esports team for 6 weeks." What does that mean? Again, it's not just having the team. We all know this. It's not just having the team. It's everything else other than just having the team, and being able to connect it into so many other things that we're doing. And like right now, if our focus right now was just on having a team, what are you doing? You're not doing anything.
I can tell you what that quote means, though, because I was subject to that today. What that quote means right there means that, number one, nobody knows what you're doing. You're sneaking in consoles into the classroom. You're just playing just random games. You're not notifying your parents. You're hacking into the school system. You have a kid or two or three or a teacher that knows how to get into the system without telling IT. How to get in, and you haven't told anybody yet. You happen to know the admin password, but you're not telling anybody that you know it. And if it breaks, then you don't know how it broke, and you unplug the system and you go home. So, and I've actually heard that today because some people say, "Oh, well, we've had a gaming club for a couple of years." Oh, you have? What are you doing? I've heard that. I heard that today. Not in the people that I've talked to, but there's been whispers because we announced in our little virtual chat today that we were going to do some esports teams to in our district, and they said, "Oh, we've been doing gaming clubs for a couple of years or whatever." Oh, you have, without any type of support from the district? I'm not trying to investigate or find out, but I already know what you're doing, because if you know how to pretty much code, or you know the admin, or you've talked to somebody from IT, or you just figured it out, or you've brought a game or a console into the school, you've been playing like Counter-Strike or whatever without anybody knowing or looking, then yeah, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing anyway. You haven't talked anything about health. You haven't talked anything about social and emotional learning. You haven't done anything but sat and play, or ethics. You've just been playing the game.
I do think we need to be careful, though, because I feel like a lot of people who have been in the industry for a while now have a very knee-jerk reaction to it. And sometimes that reaction is extremely disrespectful. And I get it, because I see the word spelt that way, and I immediately cringe too. But for me, when I see it, what I see is somebody who's not connected to the community. They're not actually connected to the esports industry in a real, deep, meaningful way. That doesn't mean that they're coming at it with bad intentions.
No.
Nor does it mean they're coming at it and in 6 months from now they'll continue to do that. So like I definitely, I might say something like, "Hey, this is how we spell it, and this is why. Here's, a Discord group you should join. Who are you connected with?" Because a lot of times those people are connected with each other, and it tends to be a very disconnected connection. They tend to put each other, they're either alone or they're in an echo chamber. And, that's not a great place for growth. It is. But so for me, it's like when I see that, because I know a lot of people do, like, I either don't respond or people get kind of aggro about it. And it's like, no, I definitely like to fish out, because I've run into it. I mean, I had an hour-long conversation with somebody on the back rooms of Twitter a month and a half ago, because stuff like that started to get dropped. And, it's like, well, what do you know? Like, what are you operating off of? Well, hey, you should look into this. You should look into this. You should look into this. You should look into this, because you're trying to reinvent the wheel right now. And there's no point in doing that. Like, these communities exist, they're there to help you. And if you continue to function this way, you're kind of going to end up getting laughed out of the space.
Well, and what's interesting too, again, because we talk about what could possibly people do right now. I want to show you a image, if you will, because I know we've all, and maybe I should put it back up, but we've all seen the NASEF, ecosystem, if you will. And I had this shared to me today by Marcus Howard, and I think it is an amazing image here, and I want to share this real quick. So you've seen that NASEF picture of all the different careers. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this thing.
I gotta go forward.
I know I have to zoom in.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And I'll find out. I mean, let's zoom around. I mean, just so here in the center of it is the related professions.
I was about to say that.
So it's not, Marcus Howard did not do this. It's the guy who did it is Nicholas Besambes, and this was in February of 2020.
Recent.
Yeah, it's very recent. But take a look at this. So
it's huge. It's a huge industry.
But typically the image is with what NASEF provides in their research is basically what you see right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to put it in this and you zoom it out and you're just like, oh my God. Like, I'm watching this, looking at this going, I I knew about it, but it's like when you start to really
You don't really
draw
think
it
about
all
it.
out.
Yeah.
You don't think about it like this.
Well, and I think that's the difference
Allergies,
is
not COVID.
to where you're. It's okay. We're all remote. You can be sick.
I had to stay home
Is-
for 3 days because of my allergies.
Oh no,
'Cause
I know.
I had to have a note to prove I didn't have COVID.
It's a mess.
I'll put this image on somewhere in
A
just
link
a
would be-
second,
a link would be
I'll
good.
link it up somewhere. Yeah, real quick.
But yeah, I think because that's one of the issues that I used to run into when I started teaching gaming here. And I felt, I don't want to say like I felt like a little bit of an intruder into the esports community, but I kind of did because my focus wasn't solely on competitive gaming. My focus was extremely broad on all these other things. You know, we were talking about marketing, we were studying branding and colors, we were working on making our own logos. You know, we were talking about everything else, game design, like it was touching on all those other things around the industry. But I feel like now we've finally gotten to a point where a lot more esports educators have become comfortable with the greater community that surrounds gaming in general. And we don't have such a narrow focus because there's a ton of stuff attached to it.
Well, we've also done a really good job of sniffing each other out at this point too. I mean, go back 2 years and it's like none of us even knew each other.
No, it was all brand new.
Yeah, everything was brand new. And in fact, Danielle, let's see, I met you in February. Bradford, I met in real life. But I mean, again, the story I tell is I'm giving the presentation in Austin. All of a sudden, this person stands up and starts handing out stickers. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, oh, that's Danielle. Okay. Like she stands up in my presentation, starts handing stuff out. I'm like, oh, okay.
It is weird meeting everybody in person for the first time, though. I will say it's strange.
What?
Actually,
No, we haven't.
Oh no, we have not met in person.
We've been in the same place, but we have not met.
Yeah, we were in TCEA, but I was there.
TCCA.
But that's Jim and I. We were both at TwitchCon, but we didn't.
I was there.
That was so silly.
That was.
And then Jim and I have like overlapping friends. So I had like people referring me to him.
Oh, that's right.
Him to me.
That's right.
Long before, Ken.
So
yeah,
they've been all of you. Yeah, you have, Steve. Seems like that was it. The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's the 6 degrees of Steve Isaacs in the esports.
Yes,
EDU community.
That's how you. So if they spell it right and they know Mr.
And they've
Isaacs,
not just know that you have actually been in the same room with him, because I feel like everybody has independently, but.
I just dropped the link. Hopefully that link that I dropped in the chat is going to be the picture that I just put up. So if you want to grab that, you can grab that. Yeah. Is there anybody else you could think of who's like a 6 degrees separation of in Scholastic? I think it would be like Kurt Melcher. Oh, Sam Anton.
Yeah, Sam's another one.
Sam, yeah. I think Sam is okay. No offense, Steve. I think Sam Anton is truly she's the Kevin Bacon of Scholastic Esports.
She's awesome. She's how I ended up in, the UCI esports management program, like just pinging me out of nowhere. Hey, this is something you might be interested in. Like Sam's great.
Yeah. So Danielle and Bradford, have you met her yet?
Yes, I have.
Well, there we go.
I have at South by Southwest.
And Angelique's like, she's great. Yeah. And Steve says definitely Sam. So yes, I will message her later and just say, Sam, we decided tonight on the Esports EDU chat that you are the Kevin Bacon of Scholastic Esports.
So I guess I would be within 6 degrees. Yeah, that would make sense. I feel like Jim, you're getting there too, though.
Yeah.
But there's people. Okay. I'll
no, your name gets dropped a lot. It's weird.
For what?
Just stuff. Like people like to name drop, and your name gets dropped, and it's.
They could give them better
Jarrell's
names.
Messaging now, yeah.
Just say, well, if you think you know James O'Hagan, have you met Jarrell Boddick? Yeah, right. So we're kind of going on a weird tangent tonight, but again, I think
it's an exhausted Thursday.
We are all exhausted. Yes. Hold on. I'm going to send Sam. I'm going to quick send Sam this message just because I want to see if we can get a response before the end of the show.
Jarrell's messaging her.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure we're all
rookies.
Carrie did call me a Kevin Bacon first. No, I know she did. I know. Look at Steve. He's so like jealous now.
See, but I think they're both on. It's pretty much equal footing. Like they're, yeah.
Anyway, so we've got it's 7:09. We've got about 20 minutes left. Just
I had one thing that I wanted to pop out there and talk about today because I've seen it once already. I've heard about another instance of things potentially. So, no. It's just it's interesting because we deal with games, obviously. We deal with safety standards.
Hold on, I just have to pop this up.
We work with schools where we generally can't push a particular political agenda. And what's happening now is, I don't know if anybody's seen the tweets that have been going out like in the last 24, 48 hours from Animal Crossing. The Biden administration is actively campaigning within Animal Crossing.
Really?
So you can
Hold
get.
I'll go find that. I'll
you
pull it
can
up.
get
the Biden campaign
posters.
Yeah,
the Biden campaign. No, well, the Biden campaign. So you can get campaign posters to set up in your. It'll what?
The music, the dance off.
We'll have to. So it's and I know there's other games that are that it's potentially going to reach out to. So this is not the only title that is likely to have political promotions before we get to elections. There's a really good chance we're going to see more of it. I think it's an interesting thing to look at and talk about, just because I'm curious as to how this will be interpreted by school administrations. Any thoughts?
I'm interested in wondering why Animal Crossing is Nintendo, right? Yeah. Why Nintendo is deciding to dip their toe into something like this?
I don't think
it's that Nintendo's dipping in. I think it's just that the Biden administration sees this platform as potential
campaign.
Yeah. So,
and I'm sure Nintendo's making a pretty penny off of this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I mean, we have tech set jerseys in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, they're in there.
But here's the thing too, is that I look at if I take my kids, when Animal Crossing dropped, it's where they all were, and I'm not talking like the 14-year-olds. I'm talking the 18-year-olds.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Young adults. Yeah.
The young adult, the kids who are going to need to be registered to vote. The ones who you remember, MTV used to do the whole rock the vote thing, right?
Rock the vote. Yeah.
They still do.
Do they? Does MTV even show music videos anymore? I don't even know.
No, but they still have rock the vote.
Okay.
I get text messages every year. Yeah.
Okay. So rock the vote was really remember that was like the first real effort to get kids registered to vote, to get 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds to vote, because it wasn't a thing before that. And so, this is I see this as a start of the rock the vote. Are we going to see stuff in, who knows? I doubt we'll see Fortnite doing this again because of who owns part of the company. And, people making skins and, having a 50-50 battle between Republicans and Democrats. I don't know.
I expect we're going to see it in several games.
That's what I'm about to say. Like DLC packs and all that.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you remember a few years ago when Denmark made their whole country? They created their whole country in Minecraft. Do you remember what happened to that? Maybe Steve Isaacs can put in I'll let Steve here in a minute put in the chat, but I'll see if I can find a picture really quickly of this. I'm going to stop sharing this real quick. Denmark, Minecraft, and there's here we go. There we go. So I want to show you a picture of what happened to this right now. So here we go. Oh, I don't need a sleep number bed. That's what happened when Americans got hold of the Denmark, virtual Denmark in Minecraft. They took it. They
colonized it.
They colonized it. They made it their own. That's what we did. That's what our folks did. Our people.
Yeah, not surprising.
So I could see something like that. Again, I don't think there's any major public servers, obviously, in Minecraft, something like this, or maybe there is, that could get, I don't know. I guess we say colonized, I think is the best way to say it, rather than say vandalized. I think colonized is really a good way to say it. But yeah, can't believe that I would have, and that was from 2014. That's not even today. So
yeah, and it's not surprising. I mean, I love Minecraft, but Minecraft is definitely a game that has a long track record of trolling, whether it's other people's servers or worlds. Like it's,
So what would be another? I guess if we're thinking Animal Crossing, Minecraft is it's not like an Animal Crossing type world, but again, I don't see it with like Fortnite. I don't see it with the battle royale games. I don't see.
But
it
you know what?
I do.
I guess
Really?
I mean, why not? I mean, think about where we're at right now. We're all at home. We're all online. We're all trying to reach an audience. If we weren't in this situation, this probably wouldn't even been thought of. But we're all looking at some type of screen.
Hi, Sam. Yeah,
that's what this is. If COVID or whatever you want to call this wasn't an issue, this probably wouldn't have been thought of. But right now, everybody we're trying to pull everybody's attention on some type of screen.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and I feel like Animal Crossing was all about community, because that was one of the big draws of it.
mm-hmm.
Like that was a huge part of my social life this summer. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And I know when celebrities were going on other people's islands and people were tweeting that like AOC visited their island, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Because it really is about the building the community in that particular game.
So wait, I mean, if we could think about this, it's okay. So let me rethink Fortnite here for just a second, because again,
because I was going to ask you, James, why do you think on the fence on a Fortnite? Like, and I'm just throwing that out there because, like, if you say, I think
they're prime, because didn't they even do a Black Lives Matter event in game?
Well,
like they have done so many in-game things that I could see them doing something.
Well, like they did the concerts, right? They did a Travis Scott concert, they did a Marshmello concert. They did all these different concerts in there. Why not have a political campaign? Why not have a political event inside Fortnite? The problem, I guess, that I see in like the selling of skins and stuff is now it becomes like we're playing out the things I'm seeing right now. It's 5-6 miles to the south of me in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
That's my concern, is when we have politics. Like I think it would be really naive of us to think that politics aren't going to wheedle their way into video games. Video games have always been, by and large, political entities. But that's been at the hands of the dev teams and the studios. Now we're seeing outside forces coming in and applying, politicalization to it. I do not believe that Animal Crossing will be the last. If it's officially happened in one game, that or opens the door to it happening in many more. We'll probably have a little bit of a reprieve once this year's elections are done. But I think,
when will that be?
God, that'll be nice.
I have
you
no
think
idea.
It's going to be done on the 4th?
No, I'm hoping. Let me have an inch of optimism.
But here's the other problem too. Think about Nintendo
Best way
aside.
To win is by blowout.
Nintendo aside, let's not forget who one of the largest game owners are on the planet and who they're politically affiliated with. Tencent is one of the largest game company owners on the planet. They own outright Riot. They own a good portion of Ubisoft and Epic. And they're also right in with the Chinese government.
Yep, but they also still like money, and
they still like money.
You've got American branches, so it's not to say that it can't happen. I think it would be naive of us to think that it's only ever going to show up in one game. But it does, like you said, it can now create this hotbed of issues. Like Animal Crossing was this place that everybody was able to sort of come into and enjoy this community. I will anticipate there's now being, the same issues that you see in real neighborhoods of potential, divides being created, which again, games are political. but this is a different level. And I think it's something that as educators who use games, within our classroom, it's definitely something that we need to be aware of, because now if you use Animal Crossing within your classroom, this is happening on that platform.
Mm-hmm. And as Sam points out too, Discord has started giving out reminders for voter registration.
Yep.
I just, when I was going to message Sam, I saw that pop right up at the top. And so
and as educators,
I didn't even think about that. Like, we're thinking about like elementary and middle schools when you're saying, you can bring your Switch in and you can play Animal Crossing. Now that's come into play, and now you have to have that conversation of, oh well, I see vote for so and so, for so and so. Now, what you thought was safe, now you have to have that conversation if that's being brought into schools.
Not only
if
that,
they're playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but not only that, but if Animal Crossing only allows you to have signs for Biden, does that then make it non-balanced? In which case, can we even use it in the school system? Because we are supposed to provide balanced education on the different political parties and not lean to one and not promote one. So does that create an issue with Animal Crossing now?
Well, let's be blunt. We have a president right now who might tweet out later that Nintendo needs to sell off Animal Crossing because we can't have the influence of whatever, a medium.
Real possibility.
So I like what Chris was saying, Steve, in the chat, that it should all come back to encouraging voting. Right. And as educators, like I'm a social studies teacher by trade, and in my heart, I have a map tattooed on my arm, right? And I tell people all the time, I feel like social studies is the most important subject, because if we don't live in a free society, what's the point of everything else?
Right.
And it should all come back to voting. So as educators, how are we encouraging our students to help their parents get registered, help their parents learn about who's on the ballot? And rather than focusing on like the who, but it should be about the process. And I know that when we have done not virtual Meet the Teacher, we have voter registration because we have a real transient population. We want to make sure parents are registered. So educators, are you talking about it with your students? I know in Texas, voting starts pretty soon, and our voter registration deadline is like October 3rd. By the time we even start seeing ads, it's too late to register. And so are you guys helping your families get registered?
Well, here's the other thing too, and I don't know if any of your school districts are doing this as well, but if you're not and you're an educator here, this is also something we have to have, because I live in a state that, even though we still elected a Democratic governor, because again, we're voting across, the whole state, 67% of our legislature is Republican.
Right.
And that's because of
I would say that
gerrymandering like a mother.
Yeah.
And it even
Tom
went to the
DeLay
Supreme
did a
Court.
number.
And the Supreme Court was like, yeah, we're out. It's a states' rights thing. So right now, census is being taken. If you're not doing, as much as we're saying, hey, we got to get out to vote, was even more, I will argue is equally important, if not even a little bit more so, because it's only once every 10 years.
And it includes everybody.
Especially in those areas where there's transient populations, because that's how you get services. That's how you get, additional federal funding for programs and projects and things. Those people in my community, where again, we have a very highly transient population as well. Census right now, and get registered to vote. And Danielle, yes, you have a creeper.
Yeah, I know. 7 minutes, bud. He wants dessert.
Oh.
So do I. Well, I need to have dinner first. But also, if you guys didn't know, in Texas, every single high school has a voter registrar on campus.
Really?
It's the law.
That's nice.
It's the law.
That's awesome.
That is very democratic of the state of Texas.
We do things right occasionally. I mean, we do things right a lot. If you want to know which state graduates the most free, like at-risk free and reduced lunch high schoolers on time, that's Texas. Just in case you guys didn't know.
And open container laws still, right? You can drive around with a beer still in Texas?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought they still had those laws.
No.
Oh.
Nope.
What about gun racks? You're still required to have a gun rack in your car windows?
Yes, it is required to have a gun
required.
rack.
Yes.
Not if you drive on campuses anymore. Even at the rural schools, they're like, yeah, you gotta take the gun rack down.
I have to tell you, okay, so because we only got 6 minutes, but I'll tell a quick story and then we'll do a wrap up here because we brought this up and it has nothing to do with esports, nothing at all. But it is about
it's everything.
But this has to do with just, again, being in different experiences in different places and different school systems, right? And how everywhere is going to have their own vibe and their own thing. And what we do in one place doesn't always work in another. My first year living out in the country, I am southwest of Rockford in a little town called Forreston, Illinois. Less than the school district as a whole is 1,000 kids, K through 12. And it was the start of hunting season. And I drive up to school and I see all these kids in camouflage walking up to the school with their guns in hand. And I thought I was a little panicked. And what they were doing was, because they were coming right from hunting to the school, they literally had their kill in the truck, already field dressed beautifully, wonderfully. And they walked into school and they checked their guns in at the school and so they could put them in the school safe.
Wow.
And to me, I'm like,
that's responsible.
Yeah.
Well, and then again, you go to find out in these communities, this isn't just hunting just to hunt.
No, this is what they live on.
This is hunting to eat.
Yeah.
This is hunting to use everything.
Yeah.
One of our high schools actually has a gun range inside because we have an ROTC.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, that may look really weird to a lot of people, and it looked really weird to me because I didn't grow up around it. But again, that's also can apply. We can think about that through our esports event. Esports. How are we connecting? And is what one person's doing, is it going to translate or work with another? And that's not always the case. We need to be flexible in all of this.
It's regional responsibility.
Yeah. So we only have about 4 minutes left. Let's do the go arounds. Bradford, any final thoughts for today?
I actually don't have any final thoughts.
You barely even ranted today.
I barely even ranted. It's been a week for me. It's been a long time. Has it been
like a year? Really?
It has.
It's a long week.
2 weeks has been a year.
And it must be like
February.
I will tell everybody that the social emotional learning of an adult and being on camera is real. Remind me to tell you the story later at another time. I need to submit my confirmation already. I thought I did, Jarrell. I guess I'll
I love that you pulled that up.
I will do that. I will submit. I thought I'll check my email, but I thought I did.
He accepts.
I accept, but I will submit. I have to go check my email. But yeah, these virtual streets is real, everybody, and the social emotional learning with adults and educators is real. So just make sure you take care of yourself.
But I will say this, Bradford, the thing that I love about you, my friend, is that you make your health journey a very public thing on Twitter. And I can see it. You are like half the size you were probably like a year ago. I can see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I have taken on all of your weight. You have transferred all of it over to me. Thank you.
So I don't mean to take on the whole 4 minutes, but my personally, I don't want to have to go back from this COVID and carry all this weight. That's been my personal goal. So right now I'm 10 pounds away from my targeted goal.
Awesome.
So I'll be honest, everybody, social media, I'm at 240. I need to be at 230, hopefully by the end of October. That's my goal. That's what my doctor told me. And then after that, we're going to do another plan. So, but that's where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to stick to it. I do my walks. I do all of my running. I try to eat right. I try to do the best that I can.
It's great because I know you're a very good influence on me. I've never worked at a desk up until
it's hard.
Essentially COVID, and it completely from my back to my neck to, seeing my migraine spike, to weight gain, like it has completely wrecked me. And you have definitely been a huge inspiration on me just in the last month and a half to fight to find a way to get myself back in shape around my pre-existing health conditions. So it's cool. The fact that you are very public about it, it not only is it nice to see you put in the time and the work, to do something that's good for you, but it's having a positive impact on people outside of you, which is
I
also
appreciate
really cool.
that. Thank you. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes I wonder if I'm even having any results or any effect on myself or anybody.
Yeah.
We only have Danielle. It sounds like somebody wants a snack, but do you have any final thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts, not even final thoughts. Like I'm overthinking.
It's all good.
Not overthinking. I'm overthinking.
Carrie, anything?
Yeah. Just stay informed right now. I know that it can be really hard to be connected to social media and the news at this particular time, but we really need to do it. There's still a lot happening in the world, even just within our sphere as educators, and particularly with the gaming industry. Stay informed, because I think it's a weird world right now, and we're going to continue to see strange things happening. It will impact us, and it's good to sort of see it coming and be able to sort of think things through, so that when you get hit with a concern or something that actually really impacts you, you've had some time to process beforehand. So yeah.
And with that ends tonight. I'm going to just see if I can rate us and see where we go from here. I got a couple of things that I follow, and I'll just throw it out so we can rate out of here. We're going to go to Twit. Have you ever been to Twit? You know what Twit is? This Week in Tech? Used to be Leo Laporte, that whole group? No?
No, I actually have.
Oh, I can't run it. Okay. Well, that raid didn't work. So it crashed. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to end. But we will be back next week with more energy, not as dead tired, because everything's going to be fixed by next week, right?
But it's hybrid learning week.
Well, we can just lay on the chair in the background, and
I'll let you know about my new level of tired.
All right.
Everything's fine.
As Miss Giannis also says, everything's fine. So thank you everybody for checking in. Myself, Carrie, Bradford, Danielle, everybody be safe and be good and have a good rest of your week.